I saw you once, Maddie Schwartz. Before any of this began, I saw you. Alive. I was Cleo Johnson. But in my death, I became the lady in the lake.
I can't just be someone's wife.
You never wanted to do anything else.
I never tried to do anything else. Did you ever wonder why?
Your writing dreams ruined your life. Now you wanted those same dreams to rewrite it. But why did you need to drag my dead body into it?
How did you know?
Know what?
Where to find her?
My wife is a lot of things. There's one thing that she's not. That's foolish.
This is not your high school newspaper, Maddie. People's lives are at stake.
So what you gonna do? You gonna get that money and leave everybody behind you? I don't know. I don't know. Dreams push you down until you drown.
You wanted to tell everyone's story,
Unbearable sorrow.
but your own.
This is my quest to follow that star. No matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to be willing to die so that honor and justice may live.
Every time someone turns up dead in that lake, it does seem to lead to you.
When I'm away from you, I'm happier than ever. Wish I could explain it better. I wish it wasn't true. Give me a day or two to think of something clearer, to write myself a letter, to tell me what to do. I had a dream. I got everything I wanted. Not what you think. And if I'm being honest, it might have been a nightmare to anyone who might care. Thought I could fly, so I stepped off the golden.
Hello, 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 hello. How is everybody doing? Come on in here and leave a 4 in the chat if the last 2 minutes of the episode blew you away. Like, what? I was literally watching the episode like that escalated so quickly. When did this turn into a horror movie? Before we dive all the way into it, come on in here, hit that like button and support everybody here. Not only am I streaming on my channel, but all of my panelists' channel backstage as well. So if you would do us a favor and, run it up and engage, because this is a wonderful show. Anybody who is not watching Lady in the Lake and getting their whole life, they are absolutely missing out. And we'll want them to miss out, but not to waste any time. I'm going to bring out King Nikki TV first to hear what she thought about the episode and what she thought about that last 2 minutes. Because, baby, it got real horror movie real fast. And you know how we feel about the horror movies. Hey, Nikki.
Hey, that laugh, it was really giving me, he get it from his mama. He get it from his mama.
Oh boy, Stefan definitely got some of that from his mama. That was like, it was an abundance of surprising things happening in this episode that we're going to get into. But that one by far was like, whoa, I was very, very, very surprised. And I didn't think they could surprise me anymore after that funeral.
And then coming from Maddie, and this is just the beginning.
Oh my gosh, can't wait. Ashley back there sipping tea with the sweet perspective. What did you think about this episode? It's muted, Ashley.
Not me doing my dramatic effect and messing it up. Here we go. Yes, I loved everything about it. Maddie got checked left and right and right and left. And the way it ended, that heifer deserved it. You don't go in nobody mama house and be disrespectful. Maddie, you can't be Maddie everywhere. Also, PSA, stay out of black folks' business. I enjoyed this episode immensely. This was my favorite episode of the season so far. I can't wait to dive in.
Oh yeah, this was definitely it was a lot happening. If it's not my favorite, it's a close second because baby, a lot was happening. Last but not least, Kate Bly in the back with the books because she is reading them. I wonder if she read all of Lady in the Lake. Kay, what did you think about this episode?
I said so. So now that she's gone, Slappy want to stand on business. I said, sir, please sit down. It's too late. Oh, it's too late. We nobody even wants to listen to you at this point. It's too late, sir. And yeah, Maddie got everything that she deserved because when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So congratulations.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna definitely get into old Slappy standing on business because baby, you a little late to the function, ain't you? But have at it, Slappy. And anybody who is here checking in from D Movie Man's channel, he will not be joining us tonight on the panel, but you are more than welcome to support and engage with us nonetheless. Run it up. D will be here next week. But let's get into it, y'all, because standing on business. Standing on business, Slappy, down at the end. Oh, child, speaking of standing on business. We may have company. The young, naive bohemian princess. I was like, all right, you putting a lot on it. Maddie preyed on by Alan Durst's father with false hope of what could be. The classic, I'm going to leave my wife for you narrative. But wait, are you pregnant? Because we ready to deal with those type of problems. Now look at here. Don't say we ain't never told y'all nothing. Don't say we never told y'all anything. I know for one, I said numerous times, Maddie has slept with this man's father, whether it was voluntarily or an involuntary situation. Something happened for Alan Durst to roll up on her constantly with that stank energy that he gives her. But not only was this a voluntary function, and I'm putting a lean on voluntary because this is clearly a grown man. Maddie is very much so in high school. I feel like he is a predator and he saw Maddie and preyed on her and has been clearly filling her head with all these false hopes of what they can be in the future. And one day we're going to tell my son and my wife, but for now, we're just going to sneak off and get it in my office. Terrible man, terrible situation. But, it's all good until we are pregnant. We know exactly what this scenario is. Ashley, I'm going to come to you first because I know how you feel about Maddie. What did you think about this situation?
I mean, it's nuanced and complex. And I will say that's what I enjoy about this show the most because you can't really take too much at face value. We definitely knew Daddy Durst was gross. Daddy, Dr. Royal Pains. We knew he was trifling from the beginning, just how they interacted during that. But also in this, we are privy to Maddie's nature. Very early on, right? You've been messing with the son, the mother, right? But he's offering you something you feel as though you want, right? They were going to run away together. She was going to be this journalist and they were going to have this life together in her mind. It was very disturbing. It was very gross just to see the interaction, how smitten she was, and how you can see his diabolical nature throughout the entire interaction. And as soon as it's like, and we're going to be expecting more. You can almost see that she's in this euphoric place. Like this is going to cement it. Like there was no trepidation in her when she came and presented this pregnancy to him. And instantly he's like, oh yeah, we gotta do something about it. I, in the same breath, felt bad for Maddie and was pissed off at her too. You know what I mean? But no, he's definitely a predator.
I felt really bad for Maddie because I feel like this experience has shaped who she's been for the rest of her days. Like Maddie in this encounter with this man, I think we'll dive into it in a later slide I have, but especially if this was her first encounter and this man is the man who she chose to give her virginity to, and this man preyed on her in that way. Like, it's just really, really terrible. And I feel like this has shaped who Maddie has become, even if it is, somebody that we don't like. Nikki, what about you?
Look, I'm going to stand behind whole behavior at all times. I am not mad at Maddie, but I will say I would like to see how this got started, because it's one thing if she want to, sleep around with somebody, but it's kind of like, was said, she knows the mom, she's in a relationship with the son. Like, this is more collateral damage than needs to be done. Like, if you want to go lay around with whoever, that's perfectly fine. But why are you doing it in such a destructive way where like you're pulling other people in that will get hurt? And I will also say they only give us pieces. They keep giving us pieces. Because remember when we got the piece where he was cleaning up the blood, it was speculation that he assaulted her, but now we see it was consensual, which yes, you're a teenager, so you could get into the lines of that. But I also feel like we still ain't got the full picture. I want to know, how exactly did this start? How did he approach her or she approach him? Like, I feel like I still need more context, but we, like Ashley said, we knew he was a creeper. And I feel like more needs to be put on him than Maddie, because yeah, you cheating on your son, but he's messing around with his son's girl. Like, I kind of put more on him. Like, you made vows to your wife. Maddie ain't making no promises or vows to your wife. This is your son's relationship. Like, and you're the older person. You got a fully developed frontal lobe. Maddie doesn't at this point. I still feel like he disgusting and he a creep. And we all know Maddie gonna Maddie, but I'm gonna be with Maddie. I'm gonna be with Maddie.
Definitely with Maddie in this. He's always going to be disgusting. This is a grown ass man. This is a grown ass man preying on a high school teenager. I don't care if she's a 17, 8, like, this is still a child. And I just feel like even if we don't get those shots of exactly how this transpired with Maddie and how ambitious she has been her entire life, I feel like he just told her what she wanted to hear, more so than her young son could. And it was just like, this is kind of Maddie's always searching for the better option. Kay, how did you feel about this?
I knew the beef had went back years, because old boy was too mad when he seen her last episode. That the beef was there for a long time, and I'm wondering, like Nikki said, I wonder how it got started, because how did he feel? Like, what was the collateral damage when all of this came to the light? I'm also curious to know, has she realized that she's kind of got an Arrested Development here? She hasn't progressed since then. This is Maddie right now, is still Maddie that we're seeing today. Yes. Going after relationships that's not benefiting her, chasing the wrong types of people, worried about chasing this career that is just never going to be what she's seeing it is, trying to get external validation. Like, she hasn't grown from this at all.
And it's sad. I felt, it takes a lot for me to feel bad for Maddie. I felt bad, absolutely bad for Maddie here. And I want to know what happened to this husband, to this father, trash individual. But it wouldn't be a Lady in the Lake Sunday if we did not have some trivia. Kay, I'm gonna come to you first. This is a very easy one. Okay, I know how you can get with these questions on Sundays. Kay, how old is Milton's new girlfriend? A, 21, B, 28, C, 25, or D, 23?
25, and that is a little strange for him too. What is her with all these weird men?
Let's see if Kay's right. And she got it. I knew you would, Kay. I never doubted you for a second.
Where's the applause at? Ashley, I know you got some applause going on. I need a clap.
Always gotta have something. Most definitely 25. But leaving this here and getting into this scene, baby, the opening of just all of Maddie's audacity within this entire episode, it's been bad enough the entire show, but for some reason it felt a little bit more. Will I receive alimony? The audacity to have an attitude, be jealous, lie, and ask for money all at the same time, like all in the same breath. Maddie really at this table. Milton is all that Seth has because Maddie never cared. How dare you date a 25-year-old, ask me for a divorce, and put our son first? Maddie's clutching pearls just in case Seth tells the truth. Trash. Oh, Maddie pissed me off. Maddie pissed me off. Like, first of all, I'm meeting you here on your terms, and rightfully so. You left, abandoning the family, your son. You trying to get him to what they call a Negro town, Negroville. You trying to get him to come on down here with the blacks. He's not interested. He's falling by the wayside. Of course, Milton just feels like it's because she's left, and we all know Seth has a whole lot of other stuff going on, secrets that he's keeping from his father. He's trying to hold on to in spite of this entire situation. But as we're getting, the divorce papers and the 25, we didn't say like visitation rights. Well, if he doesn't, want to come live here, or like, when will I be able to see my son? That's still my son. I do want to be a part of his life. So will I get alimony or what? Like, she is so ready to wash her hands of Seth. And I know we're going to get to the scene later where we're aboard missions, but who is Seth's father? That's what I need to know. I want to know who Seth's father is, because that's going to say a whole lot. The eager and detachment that she has for Seth, and I know that first episode we were like, oh my God, why is he talking to his mother? Da, 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 da. This is something that has plagued their relationship for some time. I don't think she ever truly had the capacity to care for Seth properly as a mother, because if she did, mothers don't do this. They don't move like this. If I want to go off and live my best life, fine. I'm still a mother first. I need that connection. But we're asking about alimony. Kay, explain your girl Maddie.
In the famous words of Denzel, Maddie said, "I'm leaving here with something." She said, "Oh, that's cool. That's cool. We get a divorce, but I'm leaving with something. Where's the alimony? Where's the money? Give me." She said, "You ain't gave me that. Give me something." She wouldn't even worry about that boy at all. You see, the first thing she asked for was the money. I'm like, come on now, Maddie. Come on now. And this is why your son don't. This is why he treats you like he do now. He does not feel the love from her. He pretty much came into this world. She already had some reservations about him, knowing that her husband was not his father. So their relationship was rocky before he even got to this earth, and he can feel it. And she needs to do better with him. But right now, Maddie's worried about Maddie. She's worried about Maddie, and I don't blame him for not wanting to be around her at this point. And I have a theory about Seth, but I'm gonna say that one.
We're gonna have to get into Seth, because especially way back then. Situations like that, what we're going to get into, they can be very much botched, and whatever you thought was happening maybe didn't happen. Like, I need to see where that resentment is coming from for Seth, because girl, you're his mother. Ashley,
she ain't ever been no type of mama. We know that. Listen, what honestly surprised me about the conversation, and I guess it really didn't, it just spoke more to Maddie's character, was the fact that literally, oh, Milton, you've met someone. How old is she? Because there's always this thing of like competition. Like, I'm supposed to be the young one. I'm supposed to be the pretty one. Oh, now you've moved on. Well, are you going to pay me? Maddie is just she just doesn't have it in her. And again, I want to go back to Maddie's childhood. I want to see her interact more with her mother. I want to see where this lack of nurture came in at. Like, girl, where did that come in at? Because we know that aside from her cheating and aside from all of that, there is still a strain with she and Seth. And what's the root of that thing? Seth, for being a child, is extremely aware. And when Milty came and said, he told me a secret, I immediately knew he wasn't finna blow up his own spot. I'm not gonna risk this. I know where my help come from, and it's from my daddy. I was proud of Milty in this moment. I said, Milton, you better move on and give this raggedy heifer what she thinks she deserves in this moment, but be free. But to me, it was Maddie's gall and the nerve to act like she was jealous when she'd been throwing it out of every single draw leg, every chance she gets with Officer Blue. Okay. Girl, you're not pressed about Milty. She should have just asked for the money in the beginning, and we could have cut all this out. Talking about, well, at least when you sign these papers, I can sell this car and get some money. Like,
Wow. Maddie acts like she's been chained. She's been, held hostage by Milton in this sham of a marriage this entire time. I don't trust any of Maddie's narrative at all. I don't feel like Milton was a trash husband. Is he a product of the time and more, expectations of a wife to be a certain way and of their Jewish heritage? Absolutely. But child, you can't paint it that Milton was just, I need to get out of here. You've been wanting to get out of here. You never wanted to be here for this man and you settled and you're mad. Nikki?
Now, I took Maddie saying how old is she a different way because I feel like it's kind of comical. Like, this is the stereotypical thing that the older balding man does. You go get a young girl to boost your ego and feel better about yourself because now your wife left and you want this young girl, et cetera, et cetera. And I also feel like I'm going to play devil's advocate on her first question being the alimony and not her son. I feel like when your kids are a certain age, you don't really have to have the conversation of visitation. You know how parents get a divorce, and if your kids are old enough, the judge will say to the child, well, what parent you want to live with? I feel like little kids, you might have to have that conversation, but Seth is a teenager. What is he, 16, 17? If he want to see his mama, I think we can have that conversation between the parents. I don't think she even needs to go through Milton to see Seth. So I'm playing devil's advocate for Maddie on that one. But I will also say we giving Milton too much credit. Milton is trash if you ask me, because number one, you cannot in one breath talk about how your son needs stability, but you're dating a woman closer to your son's age. No. What kind of stability is this girl gonna give him? Second of all, just because your wife leaves you, that doesn't mean you turn into F her. No, if he claimed to love this woman, wants to be in a relationship with her, you should care about her well-being to some extent, not just F you. And he did say, well, I'm going to do right by you. But he had quite the attitude when she asked him for money when she first left. Like, this woman has not had a job since she was working on a high school newspaper. She has been a housewife. How is she supposed to take care of herself? Yes, she left you, but you rather her stay and like she moved on. She didn't want to be with you anymore. So I feel like Milton trash. I'm not going to give Milton a lot of credit because even though somebody do wrong, I think he should still do right. It doesn't matter what Maddie did. And Maddie ain't do nothing really terrible. She left the marriage. That's it. Like, she left the marriage. How terrible is that? I left.
She did do something terrible. She had him in a marriage, and that ain't even his son.
I gotta change the format, baby. You do what you gotta do, Milton. You do what you gotta do. What you're not gonna do is wake up. First of all, we wanted to be found out. We never wanted to be with this man. That's why we left our little funky diary out for everybody to find. Second, you get up out of nowhere. I've been taking care of you rightfully. Yeah, you've never had a job. That means I've been holding you down, taking care of you, providing for you, as well as my illegitimate son at this point that I don't know about. I don't put it like you've been seething and unhappy within our marriage and with me. I have no clue about this, baby. I'm shocked. You've been complacent and uncomfortable. It was up to you to leave and do whatever. You settled and now you're mad. But since you're upset and you want to go off, leave, go to the bottoms, go work for the Baltimore Star and whatnot, you want me to still subsidize your lifestyle all the way off over there? Before this divorce even happened, she was asking for, I need money. I need money. Like, excuse me?
Absolutely.
You want me to give you money to go live at the bottoms and freak on a black man whenever you're not working at the Baltimore Star? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Because he's not just holding her down because he makes the money. I'm looking at it as he was likely financially abusive. I got the money. You got to ask me for every little thing that you need because I make the money. Look.
How you gonna put that on Milton?
Because he's a breadwinner and it's the 60s.
And rightfully so. And normal wives weren't doing this in the 60s. We were accustomed to a certain lifestyle. Everybody here is a product of their time. But Maddie is a special case. Maddie has never been happy with Milton. Ever. Clearly. And she never wanted that damn son. And you want me to go off and fun you being a city girl. Girl, get out my face. Let me read the super chat. Thank you so much, LeBron's Unicorn, for the $10. Hey y'all, we definitely appreciate it. On that note, y'all, we're gonna have to go to a commercial break because I need y'all to understand when, where, and how y'all can support us, because it's not all that hard wanting us to deal with pay for Maddie lifestyle. Ain't nobody been doing that. We'll be right back.
Will I get alimony?
Am I supposed to get a lawyer now, or should I just get on my knees and beg you?
Just fight for my 45, don't get out of line. Yeah. Ooh, pick a side. Only double lines we cross is dollar signs. Yeah. Hold up, wait. I hear you just got paid, making rage energy. She more cake on more Central Pay. Be waving the room, the crowd gon' move. Look around, everybody on mute. Look around, it's me and my group.
You was on stop mode, that phone's post on Facebook, no post, chat too much, bro, dip on load. That's that Kodak energy.
Wow, thank you. Do know that you can support us by hitting that like button, sharing this live, sending a super thanks later after the fact, and also sending a super chat right now. We're not subsidizing Maddie Lifestyle. I don't care what y'all saying in the chat. We are absolutely not, but I do love that we have some people on the fence and some people who aren't. But I do not think nobody is 100% right. But if I had to pick the right side, baby, it's going to be Milton every time. I can't agree with anything that Maddie's doing in the way that she is treating Seth. If she was going off to do whatever she wanted to do and I want to get away from my husband, cool. If she still was trying to be agile and being a mother as agile as she's trying to jump on black peen in the dark, I could give her some credit. She can't have none. You trying to leave that baby by the wayside. He don't like you for not no reason. She been a trash mother. Do better, Maddie. You should be ashamed.
Yeah, I will say it is very messed up that Maddie is running around talking to Stefan and her son grades are slipping. He is going through a lot. Yeah, I will definitely agree with that.
Agreeing with that, Nikki, I'm going to come to you. What alias was used to send that letter to Maddie? A, John Doe. B, what? Can I finish? Oh my God. B, Bill Williams. C, Bill Marshall. Or D, Bill Smith.
D.
Let me see. I don't know. That might be wrong. Let me double check.
I ain't never wrong. Booyah.
Yes, it is Bill Smith. And who the hell is Bill Smith? Who the hell really sent this letter to Maddie? Because we know who it wasn't. The ninja with the hard ER pool stories, because we're not dealing with those. We get back to the Baltimore Star, and Cleo, the body has been discovered. But not only has it been discovered, an anonymous person with an alias sent a letter to Miss Helpline, and the such and such light from this tower is being blocked. Can you guys go check it out? I'm like, this is too much of a coincidence for these deaths that she's just keep kind of falling in Maddie's lap to be tied to her. But she wants to make this a moment. Oh, I remember the Cleo situation. At this point, it's been a few months and Cleo has been missing, for some time. So it's going from her being missing to this potentially being her body. And Maddie is feeling like this is her moment. Bob wants nothing to do with it. The police are here, baby. Give them whatever little evidence you have. These are black stories. These are them ninjas over there. We don't have time, and we really just even don't care. Kay, I'm going to come to you. Who do you think sent that letter to Maddie, and how do you feel about Maddie choosing to pursue this case, even though Bob forewarned her?
Of course she's going to. Maddie ain't listening to nobody, even at the expense of her own safety. And again, you play stupid games, win stupid prizes. She knows she was playing in dangerous territory, but she just got to get the story, because I gotta become Lois Lane and get this story out. I'm thinking I've narrowed it down to 3 people. I'm thinking is either I'm putting her son in there. I'm going to say, what was a Judith? Okay, I'm not letting her off, because I'm trying to think of people that knows that she be looking for missing people and that she be working on this newspaper. And I'm also going to throw in maybe one of Cleo's children, perhaps.
What? Them babies ain't sent no letter, Kay.
Because maybe they wanted they might. We don't know, especially that oldest son.
Child, somebody sent that strategically for Maddie to be tied to this and know that that body was in there. Somebody was trying to be discovered. Ashley, how did you feel about this situation? These hard arse pool stories, and who do you think sent that letter to Maddie?
Yeah, this is all typical behavior. And I just want to give a shout out to Maddie's bringing the bagels and the booty and not having an issue with it.
We gonna get on.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, really, girl? Really, girl? But as far as Bob, this is typical. This was standard. He said, go on over to the Afro. That's who covers this, Maddie. We're the star. We're not getting into this. This is not your time to shine. Because Maddie's still trying to get into the office with the big boss, right? Because she wants to put her feminine wiles on him. She wants to bend down and tie his shoe and make him a bundt cake is what she wants to do. Because whatever she can do to curry favor to be that girl, that's who she wants to be. As far as this letter is concerned, this really matches the true story of what happened to this woman in Baltimore. And it was discovered because a person was just mad about the fountain light not coming on anymore. And they made a request for the people to come out. I don't think that there's anything necessarily nefarious about the letter. But if I had to guess, if I'm playing just to play along, you know what? I don't know anyone who would have the motivation to do that. Everybody I know that knows about Cleo's body being in there doesn't want it discovered. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to venture a guess because I think that's innocuous at this point. I don't know if there's going to be any true tea that comes out with this letter. So I'm gonna say Reggie just for the purpose of the video, but then no, that's what I'm gonna say.
Nikki, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with Ashley. I don't think there's any way for her son, whether it's Cleo's son or Maddie's son, I don't think it's any way for them to know anything about a body being out there. Of course, Reggie wants to cover his tracks. He don't want anything to lead back to him. So anyone who would know, I truly don't think anyone would want to draw attention. So I think it's just maybe close to the real life story. Like Ashley said, someone literally just saw the lights were out and just, hey, come check the lights. So yeah, I don't think it makes any sense, but I think as far as the story and the narrative, I think it was just a way to connect Maddie back to Stefan, which would lead her to the mom and all that stuff. So that, cause she's thinking this black woman was, or Negro woman, as they say in the show, child, was wound up missing the same day Stefan was here and lead Maddie down her little investigative track. I think that's the purpose story-wise for the letter. I don't think it's anyone really behind it. Like, oh yeah, come find his body.
I don't know. Everything here, thus far has been really strategic, especially with Maddie and all of these coincidences that have been happening to tie her. Every time a body ends up in that lake, conveniently is tied to you. I really feel like it was with purpose, but I don't know who would do it. It's like, I don't know. A part of me was saying, like, what could it have been Reggie? Is Reggie trying to blow up, the spot and, get away from his situation? Or was it Officer Platt? I don't know.
Ooh, maybe Cleo sent it. If we got to make a guess, maybe it was Cleo.
Yeah, it could. Everything. I'm just waiting because I know the finale is going to be real juicy, and I'm just waiting for the moment for all of our mouths to be open. Like everything we thought it wasn't even that this whole time. It was wrong. We were wrong this whole time. I live to be wrong, and I love to be surprised. If it is that, I just want to know, because this had to be something on purpose. Of all people, it just ended up here. Edna's Reed in Maddie's office dues. How long has Maddie been objectified and preyed on as a woman? Baby, first of all, I was all here for Miss Edna. Edna, more screen time for Edna. More screen time for Edna. First of all, looking at her up and down, like, baby, because if you feel like this is going to give you a step up in this office, or if this is your route of getting a step up, I'm not trying to associate with you. And I'm definitely not trying to give you the time of day coming. I'm on the toilet trying to catch a breath, catch a break, and smoke my cigarette in peace. And you want to come over here with your conundrum and your decision. Girls, you don't leave me the hell alone. Leave me the hell alone, girl. I'm on the toilet. Can you not see I don't want to be bothered? I was here for Edna in the Reed. But I was not here for multiple shots. I think it happened 3 times in this episode of Maddie bringing in bagels and buns and getting smacked, rightfully so, and just being okay with it. I should have known this was maybe a possibility when she got on the knees to tie Bob's shoes, but I was like, Maddie, if you don't, why? I was just only thinking, you know, how I was kind of sort of feeling sorry for Maddie at the beginning of this episode. Like, this has really shaped what you feel like you have to subject yourself to get ahead, or like, do you have no, like, girl, stand up. Maddie was not standing up at all. And when she was getting her ass smacked. Nikki?
Yeah, this goes into when I switched and said I'm no longer a Maddie hater. I'm Team Maddie, because I feel like in the context of the world she has grown up in and is living in, I can get it as far as her being a woman in this time, having ambition, and the whole situation of the guy slapping her on her behind. I don't think Maddie likes it. I don't think she wants it, but Maddie is understanding the situation. It's kind of like the age-old argument of a woman who uses her feminine wiles to get ahead. I can only use my feminine wiles if you let me, and I'm only trying to play the game. Like, this is Maddie's only, I'm not saying it's the only way for, obviously, but for Maddie, she feels like, I'm going to play the game to best advance myself. How can I do that? Well, let me use the fact that I'm white presenting, I'm a pretty face. So if I make ruckus, if I'm not just a pleasant, docile woman, that's not going to get me where I want to be. I feel like it ties into her being manipulative when she's dealing with people, even if she's dealing with them trying to get a story, or if she's just dealing with them in life trying to just get whatever her end goal is. I think Maddie is just a product of her time, and she has adapted to being a certain way in order to get what she wants. But I agree, we need more Edna, because Edna said, baby, I'm finna give you 3 life lessons in 3 minutes. Don't you see I'm in here trying to give me some props? I love Edna for that. But I really do, like, Maddie is a lot of negative things, obviously. But I feel like I feel bad for Maddie. I feel bad for the time period she is in. I feel like it's a lot easier. If I walk in my job and a man slaps me on my behind, I have a lot more power in 2024 than a woman would back in the 60s.
I can't feel bad for Maddie in that light, because even though a lot of women are the product of their time, especially now, there are women like a Cleo or somebody like an Edna, or a lot of the women that we've met that don't want to succumb to certain things to get ahead or are trying to do their best. Maddie didn't even try to step out and take a route of morale to get ahead. She's been trying to use, been trying to, you know, submit and be, you know, just trying to play that role. It's like, it's my money and I need it now. She wants everything to happen so quickly. It's like, what else are you willing to subject yourself to?
Whatever she has to.
And that's disgusting. I want Maddie to have some morals.
She can't. No, it's too late.
Lord. Ashley.
Yeah, here's the thing. Maddie's approach, Maddie's cycle, her pattern, her behaviors, it's a learned behavior, right? And so it's been perpetuated and it elicits a response. It's like what operant conditioning, right? So if I act this way, if I do these things, I'm going to get. I think the issue right now with Maddie is that all of her efforts, she's not being rewarded like she's used to in the past. Maddie's getting older. I think Maddie is dealing with some internal struggles as well. Again, this scene in the newsroom very much gave Mad Men to me, and how you saw the women operate in that space. Some took ownership of it and dominated, right? Came up through the ranks. Some of them were just used kind of playthings. I think right now we're seeing her as a used kind of plaything. But Maddie's on a mission. She don't seem pressed. I don't know if it's because she's so conditioned to this type of treatment that it's fine with her, or what it is, but it was just really gross. I was like, girl, and you see Edna in the background, like, little girl, stand up. We know this is her elder. I was really kind of shocked at Maddie's approach to her. Like, can you help me with this? And she's looking at you like, girl, I see you. I already saw who you were. Because I could take it because I get it's the 60s, right? But I also get that some women who carried themselves a certain way weren't subject to that, and that she still did have a right to say no, being that she did have privilege, right? So I struggle with that. I get it was the time, and it's easier to go with the flow. So in this case, I can't really be too mad at Maddie, and y'all know I don't like Maddie at all, but I can't be too mad about her for going along to get along. Yes, we need way more Miss Edna. I loved her. She's an old school fool. She not playing them games.
I can, because you got out of them handcuffs of Milton, acting like you were so downtrodden and suppressed. I would never be subservient to a man again. I'm trying to go out and live my best life and be a journalist. What's happening right now? You got I wait for Milton to be suppressed by
the payoff though, Tyra. We know it's all she's given something to get something. It's reciprocity here. It's not just for the sake of getting tapped on.
She got to stand up. She set the standard in this office when she got on them knees and tied them shoes. Okay.
Boy, she got the face that she's turned around looking at her is like, girl, stand up, stand up. What are you doing? Maddie is giving very much use what you got to get what you want. And I don't no, it is not. It's not victim blaming. Maddie is very calculated. We are underestimating her. Maddie, although female, she still has white privilege. And I don't care what anyone says, white women privilege holds a lot of weight. That is the same white women privilege that got a lot of black men hanged. That it got a lot of black women beat. It got a lot of biracial children tortured. So I don't give her no kind of pass for what she's doing. She is very intelligent. She's very calculated. She knows exactly what she's doing. Look how far she's come. Look what she's getting exactly what she thought she was going to get. She's trying to make a name for herself. She's trying to get that external validation. Girl, your name is not Lois Lane. Please have several seats. And she's looking at you and telling you to sit down somewhere.
Child, on that note, we're going to go to break. But I will say that the way that Maddie decided to conduct herself, we saw how Maddie conducts herself and the energy she presents when her gaslighting or her feminine wiles doesn't get her what she wants. She resorts to the lowest common denominator. That is not a victim. I have established all the way in, I think, episode 1 that every single man in this show walking is pretty much a creep. Everybody, there isn't, really one good man in sight. So, but yeah, she's getting her just desserts. We'll be right back. Gonna be a hot episode the way Maddie was showing. I knew it. I could feel it. I already knew what we were walking up in here. The mother identified the body. Did she go on a stroll and fall dead in the middle of winter? Because I could care less of investigating any further. Now, I did love the notion of what we already know. When little Tessie went missing, it was hell in high water. Everybody was looking. It was, an emergency statewide situation. We had to find little Tessie. But when it comes to Cleo, we see that nobody has been adamant about searching for her. And we even have, this court in here. Like, I really don't give a damn how she ended up here. It's just another dead Black woman. Like, what do you want me to do? My focus was more so that we didn't actually see the body, and we didn't see the mother roll up. I would have loved to see the mother roll up and identify Cleo. We don't have to, linger in this all that much, but I had kind of felt some type of way because we don't believe that this is Cleo, but we do have the elements take hold of the body after, so long in that water. But just as a mother, Do you guys felt like she should have maybe Ashley?
Here's the thing. This is when Maddie truly started to infuriate me. It was like the callous nature with which she conducted this investigation. Maddie didn't care. Her mother had to see her like that. Girl, you are feigning consideration and empathy. And it just really pissed me off because I knew she was going to go balls to the walls to get her knee deep all in this, and it just pissed me off because you don't care. And it's crazy because you know the story. Well, you know how old this woman was. You know that she had a family, she had a mom, and you can't relate to any of that. Something is really damaged inside of Maddie that we didn't have a moment of concern. But the coroner probably pissed me off just as much as Maddie did in that moment. She could have just went for a swim and drowned. Really? In the middle of winter, she went for a swim and drowned, Dr. Coroner, man. Like, be so for real. And like you said, just the complete apathy. I don't give a damn. Get out of here. What we talking about for? And then the fact that we didn't get to see the body, not that I necessarily wanted to see, but I did. There were elements I wanted to see. He said, this is what it's like when they're in water for this long. This just started again, my hate tour with Maddie. This is what started it, and shame on that coroner for not digging deeper. But I will say this was telling. No bullet wounds, no blunt force trauma, no stab wounds. So whoever this person is wasn't violently taken out, no marks of strangulation from what he said. I don't know. It begs certain questions.
It said Dora. It said do Dora. That's what it said, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, if you overdose, it's not going to be any blunt force or shots or anything like that. So that's the first thing that popped into my mind. She didn't bother me here because I don't expect anything less from Maddie. Maddie has shown that fake little empathy and, but did her mother have to see it? She did the exact same thing with Tessie. It's good to know that, Maddie's shenanigans knows no color lines. Okay?
That's white woman privilege, being able to just walk up in the coroner's office to go investigate. First of all, you really you ain't got no type of merit or warrant to be in a place where you're not related to this woman. You ain't got no badge. You ain't got no white coat. She even got gloves on in there? Just in there. Just get the ability to walk up in there and to go view a body from a complete stranger. You cannot tell me that ain't privilege. And we know that Maddie has a personality disorder because she ain't got no empathy for this woman. She just wants to know, how much information do I need to crack this case so people can say my name? Not hers. I need y'all to know who did this. It was me, Maddie. I can't. And of course, I expect him to be racist, because why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't? Look at his face. He look like, I don't care. We can put this in the incinerator for all I care.
Oh, Lord, Kay on one today. I love it. Nikki?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate again and say it's not Maddie's white privilege that got her in there. She came in here with Bob, and she always introduces herself by saying, "I'm a reporter from the Star." Tyra, you know how to do the accent. Like, that is what.
If Maddie could come in and say, "I'm a reporter with the Baltimore Star." Now, if that same black reporter that she rolled up on, I think in my next slide, when it came and said, "I'm a reporter for a colored newspaper," we would have wanted to see all types of proof and credentials and had her fill out 60 packs of paper before she even got back there. This is definitely privilege.
And I'm going to also say she got in because it's the 60s and they don't care that a black woman is dead. So it means no never mind to him to say, "All right, come in. I'm going to lift the sheet. You're going to see the body. It's not a big deal." But I will also say, I'm surprised this started Ashley hate train, because this should be when y'all get on Maddie's side. Because wait, give me a second. We know Maddie gon' Maddie, but no white paper wants to cover this murder. It does not matter her intentions. At least she is working to get a black woman's death in the white paper. That's a big deal. We over there with the afro and the S curl, whatever we doing over there with the other paper. That only, like Maddie said, only the black people gonna read, only the black people gonna care. But if I get it into the white paper, it will bring more attention. That's a good thing. Even if her reasoning is unscrupulous, it will still merit a good result. So, and I will also say this shouldn't start the hate train because, like Tyra said, Maddie don't see color. Maddie just gonna use whoever she could use. Maddie didn't have empathy when little Tessie Durst was going. When Maddie said, "Oh, I'm treating her like she was my child," no, the hell she ain't. That was just as fake as when Maddie said, "Oh, did her mother have to see her like this?" Maddie does not care about anything except her end goal. Black, white, indifferent, Jewish. She don't care. She just wants her end goal. But at least this will do some good because this missing dead Black woman, who I feel like is Dora, because like Tyra said, was no mark. She probably OD'd, and that's why Reggie was crying in the car. At least the Black woman's death and being missing will get some coverage. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say, look, at least the dead Black woman gonna get some coverage in the white paper.
Okay.
See, we let you cook and the food is still undone.
I spent a lot of this episode with Maddie in her journalistic integrity. She's moving because I think in one of the slides I called Maddie an ambulance chaser. But most reporters are, we're going out of our way and whatever to get the story, but we don't know them. We know Maddie, and I don't like Maddie. Is she moving accordingly as most journalists would? Sure.
Yes.
But I don't like Maddie.
She's moving exactly like Bob. Bob ain't have no real feelings when he was covering Tessie. Remember how pleasant he was when he went to talk to Maddie versus how cold he was when she came up to the office? His story was done. Maddie is being a regular reporter. There is no feeling, and it's not supposed to be feeling because as a reporter, you're supposed to be unbiased.
But even if you go in there, it's one thing to go in there. I'm with the Baltimore Star. Okay. It's the performance of it all for other people, for her to appear a certain way. Her mother had to see her like this. We don't need that for you to come in here to view the body. You can come in here and take your notes and view the body and go on your way. You don't have to try to appeal to this filthy coroner's better name. Oh, like who are you being a damsel for? Relax. She get on my nerve. She get on my nerves. Bob gonna be Bob, but I know Bob ain't coming here and bat his eyelashes. And the Black mother had to see her. Like, Bob don't give a damn. Where
you don't have to.
This thing, just to respond real, Nikki, it started the hate tour because I feel like this is unleashing something in the Black community and has all sorts of implications that Maddie doesn't even consider. Uncovering this body is going to do way more harm than good. For one time, now that the body's found, where was your energy when the body was missing, sis? If it's all that, we got the body now, what good is it going to do ruffling all these feathers that you're not going to have to even deal with? Matt, yeah, it started the hate train. I stand on that. I hate Maddie down.
So you don't want justice for whoever dead body that is? We need to get justice for whoever dead body that is. Whoever is dead, whether the culprit is Black, you need to pay for your crime.
The humbling of a self-serving gaslighter. Was here for all of the humbling of Maddie in this episode. First, Edna made me laugh out loud in their bathroom. Then we get here because, like Maddie, her and all her journalistic integrity, and, you want to be a reporter so bad and get your name in there. Do the work. Do the work. You have all this access, openings and spaces that we could never. But not only do you want to come in here and get, some info, like, no, you want me to hand over everything I found, worked for, dug for, interviewed, or talked to certain and just hand it over to you. You want to come in here as a reporter and ask for that? Fine. Ask for it as a reporter. When we get into kind of, I don't see color, I'm living in the bottoms, like that performative stuff, that's what pisses me off with Maddie. Stefan, you did this to get closer. Maddie thinks it's all about her. You had to have sent this letter to me just for what? First of all, I was living for Stefan. Like, I was laughing. I was laughing like hell because, like, it was like Stefan called her everything but an idiot on the other side of that phone. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? When he said, when I send letters, it says, 855 correctional facility. That's what it's going to say when I send it to you. Well, you could have got somebody to send it. Well, why would I do that? Even if I did, like, why would I want to incriminate myself? Maddie, what are you talking about? Just to get me involved because even Seth had sense enough to go, well, I guess I won't be getting any more visitor calls from you. I guess you got what you wanted. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Stefan knows exactly who Maddie is. But I was here for the reporter not just wanting to hand over information. Girl, here are some newspaper articles, the same ones I went through to trace steps and connect dots. You go and do that. Don't come in here acting like you are for the people, because we know you aren't. Okay?
I'm glad he tried to set her straight there, because she just thinks she knows everything. Like, no, you don't. She is just trying to give off this impression that she is just all knowing, that y'all done just y'all been pushing me to the side, and y'all that I'm the underdog. She trying to make it seem like she was an underdog, and y'all need to respect me in this industry a little bit more than what y'all do. But you wrong though, Maddie. Like you're not seeing the forest for the trees. You wrong in this, and she's willing to chase a story just so that her name can be like, Maddie solved this, but the person who probably didn't even really do it name gonna be like this.
Yeah, Maddie rolling up here like, I was happy in that when we saw the trailer and Maddie has everything spread out, and I was like, oh, somebody forced you to do that also. Nikki?
Yeah, I'm not mad at Maddie wanting her name in the paper. I'm not mad at Maddie for wanting to be successful. Who doesn't? Who with a dream don't want to be successful or see their name wherever the hell they want to see it at? Bob and all them trash creep men in the newsroom will do the exact same thing that Maddie does. And what I will say is, I hope that the reporter that she talked to, I can't think of her name, from the Afro, I hope we'll see her and she'll get a bigger part, because along with the story that Maddie is doing, which I'm fully behind, because the fact of the matter is, people had a hand in whoever is dead, whether it's Cleo or someone else. People had a hand in everything that happened with the attempt on Sumner's, and I think those people need to, come to light and not just be at the girl funeral when you ordered her to be dead. And the only way it will really come to light, because just like Maddie said when she had the conversation when Platt climbed through her window, is Platt looking for the killer? No one is, not even the black cop is looking for what happened to this woman that ended up dead in the lake. Whatever her reasoning is, Maddie is. So I'm fine with Maddie doing it, but we all know everything Maddie says and does is a performance. But my thing is, we already know that about Maddie. Like, I don't care about that at this point. A lot of people we interact with every day, everything they say is performative. So I really don't care. I'm here for Maddie to get the black story in the white paper. That's the only thing I care about right now. So I'm going to be like Maddie and have my tunnel vision. By any means necessary, whoever got to be collateral damage, let's get the justice for whoever body that is in the lake. But I would like, in a perfect world, in TV world, I would like for the things to happen with the lady at the black paper, but the reality is we're never going to get the spotlight without it being in the white paper.
Ashley?
A couple things. I got my whole life with the Afro reporter, baby. Because it was the fact that Maddie wants a byline. We know she wants a byline, which is disturbing and sick. Again, it's the way that she's approaching this. She didn't come and say, I want to partner with you. I'm so interested in this story. I was devastated when I found out this black woman was unalived. Can you help me? Can you give me a start somewhere? She said, no, I want all your work product. Can you just give it? Can you just hand it over? Sis said, listen, here are these newspapers. You dig it out and go with it, because who are you? Do you even have a byline? Like, are you written up anywhere? And you're going to take my work from all these months that I've been doing this for her. When she was missing, you didn't say a thing, but now you're here for this. If that's, your shout out, your present to the black community, you can keep it. And that's my thing, girl. You didn't come in there for partnership. You came in there to take this black woman's work and colonize, which is what Maddie does. It's that privilege. I want to come in. I want to reap the rewards without putting in any of the work. The repercussions for digging into this person that we honestly don't even know was unalived. All we know was the body was dumped. From the coroner's perspective, this wasn't even an unaliving. What took the person out? No gunshot wound. I mean, there's nothing that we know. We just know the body was dumped. So what is Maddie's true quest in this? And as far as Stefan gave me everything I needed, baby, I'm not thinking about you. I'm in here for life. I done set the man on fire. I'm not worried about you, Maddie. Are you here to come see me? Where my pictures at? Where my OnlyFans stuff at? That's where Stefan is thinking about. He don't give a darn about Maddie. He said, why would I lead you to a body if I did it? Because she don't call and ask nothing. Stefan, why did you do that? It was all about me, wasn't it? Girl, sit down. Shut up. And I loved it. And this was my favorite part. My favorite part. Y'all want to know? When she said, show her to the door, and the men turned around in the chair.
It's over there, girl.
Stand up. I said, yeah, get out these people paper. I loved it. This was the start. This was the start of the good stuff.
My head, I cannot with you. Oh Lord. Say, well, my OnlyFans stuff at Maddie, girl. I've been up in here, lonely. You ain't trying to come see a player. You got what you wanted. The fact that he knows that she's a user is sending me. I'm gonna come. Ashley, I'm gonna come to you.
Yeah.
What did Slappy call Reggie at Cleo's funeral? A house.
Hey, and he said it like this. He said, you must have really arrived, man. You got your own personal house, Negro. I said, well, Slappy, use your words, sir. I was here for it. I loved it. Hey, final answer.
Let me see if that's right. It is multiple choice. I'm so surprised. Most definitely. Let's get into Slappy showing the hell out down at the funeral. Because what? This is the last thing I expected this episode. Baby, the stunts and shows at Cleo's funeral. Slappy's too little too late, but it's entertaining as hell, spreading the blame around. Okay. First of all, get into Officer Platt and Maddie. Maddie, we already know what Maddie's here for with her notebook in tow. Baby, the way she tried to roll up on Officer Platt, it's like, white woman, I am with the blacks. If you don't get your hands away from me, girl, I'm with the blacks. It is black people around. I do not know you. Don't even. Hello, ma'am. Like, yes, can I help you? The fact Maddie rolled up, well, I didn't think, us meeting out in public, this would be the first thing. Girl, we just a little ounce of respect. I don't know why. I know she don't have none, but still, damn, Maddie. The way Slappy stood up, it was giving, y'all know in Temptations when Paul want to sing for Mama Rose, like, y'all ain't gonna let me sing for Mama Rose. Y'all not gonna let me sit up here on the front row with my family. Now, granted, Slappy wants to roll up with all the wisdom in the world after Cleo's dead. Really? The fact that she is dead and you have all these revelations means that you knew this the whole time and chose to not act. Didn't do anything, but now it's everybody else's fault as to why your wife is dead. Now, there is most definitely blame to be had everywhere, but Slappy, you are too late. Where was your presence as a man, as a husband, and as a father before she got stretched out in this casket? Child, Cleo's mother up there. Cleo's mother up there. Get out. Get him away from me. You done shook hands with everybody who has something to do with her dying. What the hell are you talking about? You heard about me? Child, when he rolled up on Mr. Gordon, who got the audacity to roll up at the funeral. We already know what it is with Mr. Gordon and Reggie hopping up. Oh, you must be nice. He big time when you have a whole house ninja sticking up for you. When Officer Platt came over there and said, oh, now you know my name. My name ain't mean nothing when it was attached to my wife and it was alive and you was pushing up on her every night at the bar. Once again, you knew all of these things, Slappy, and you didn't give a damn. You didn't give a damn. It's too late to be giving a damn. Poor little Teddy in the back got to stand up like, don't do this. Don't do this at my mama's funeral. Oh, somebody get the baby. Somebody hug Lionel. It's too much happening. Nikki, were you here for Slappy standing up at the funeral?
Yeah, I haven't liked Slappy from day one, and I still don't like him because why are your kids with their grandma and you still ain't raising your damn kids? How can you say you ain't letting me sit? How can anybody let you when it comes to your kids? Like, I'd be damned if anybody let me with they're my kids. But my favorite part was when he said to the mom, about shaking hands with everybody that had a part in her daughter's death. I cannot. That's why I'm kind of feeling like I don't care who has to uncover the story, because it's a lot of people that had a hand in what happened to Cleo, whether she's alive or not. They still, even if she's alive, they still disrupted her life, got her life in danger, and she had to flee, however it turns out. But also, I'm not giving Slappy no props at all. Period. Point blank. He been a deadbeat. He's still a deadbeat. Don't care more in my death than you did when I was alive. Because I might have still been alive if I could have trusted you enough to even come to you with what was going on. Or if your black ass would have just had a damn job and I wouldn't have had to go try and, get in deeper with Shell, and which caused the ripple effect of every single thing that happened. Oh God, Slappy frustrates me so bad. Just the epitome of a deadbeat. And yeah, I liked him calling out everybody, but I can't give you no props. I really can't.
It's too late. Ashley?
Yeah. Another scene where we further are going on this hate tour with Maddie, because you go to this funeral, you done seen this woman's children. You done seen her mama up there looking like Coretta. Y'all saw that imagery, right? With the veil and everything. You see everybody here mourning the loss. And all you can think of is Officer Black's D. That's all you can think about in this whole moment. And then the only time she showed emotion in her face.
You liked her?
Oh, huh?
I said when he's like, you liked her? You were interested in somebody else before me, but I'm Maddie.
Exactly. You liked Cleo. Like, that's when your face changed, Maddie. That's when you felt something disturbing. As far as Slappy, we knew he wasn't gonna have them kids. I knew Granny wasn't gonna let him have them kids. I knew he wasn't gonna stand up and take them kids. And the fact that, again, we're seeing Teddy be put in a grown-up situation where he's got to cause peace to happen, right? Like, why do you have to check your own daddy at your mama funeral? Can he grieve? Can he be a child in this moment, Slappy? Slappy, this is about his guilt, is what I felt like. Slappy is doing all this now because he knew he didn't do enough while she was alive. That's what this was about, because he's ready to go. He's clearly ready to be unalived. He's ready to leave this earth, because we know you done exposed Reggie, you done exposed Shell, you done exposed everybody here, the officer. You done got on everybody's bad side, buddy. You know you're on your way out. This was all guilt, because he knows he was a nothing husband and father.
Speaking of Teddy, because I was looking at Teddy and I was looking at Lionel, and I know Teddy is the oldest. Teddy wasn't really, and everybody grieves differently. Teddy wasn't really showing any emotion. And I was thinking, at what extent did Cleo stop at, I'm going to tell you something, and you can't tell daddy, you can't tell this person, you have to keep it between you and I. If this is not Cleo, does anybody think that she told Teddy, this is the plan, this is what I'm doing? Whatever happens, that's not me, and I'll come back for you. No?
That would be a lot to lay on a child, but everything she did was a lot to lay on a child. So yeah. I wouldn't put it past Cleo to have told him that, but then again, that wouldn't be smart. I mean, you really can't trust a child with much info at all. They're gonna be quick to run their mouth. But she trusted him thus far with the whole bet and all of that. I don't know. Maybe she could have. And then again, maybe he's just not showing emotion because, as we all know, he's been in that man of the house role for a while. So maybe he just feels like he needs to be strong for his little brother. He needs to be strong for his grandma. So that could be why he's not really showing much emotion. But if I could also interject, when Ashley, you said how Maddie is at this funeral, see people grieving, but she only cares about, do y'all think any other reporter that covers a death actually cares about the person, or do they just care about the story? I think Maddie is conducting herself just like a reporter. Bob doesn't care about the people he report on. He's just reporting on the story.
I think anyone that's human, if you're seeing, like, I've been to funerals where I didn't know the person who passed and I shed real tears because that's somebody experiencing a loss, right? I don't know. I just think that's a call to humanity. I don't think it's about being a reporter or not. I would think you'd be solemn, even if you don't shed a tear, that's fine. But I think you would hold yourself with dignity and restraint in that moment and focus on the thing. I mean, some people maybe, again, I think Maddie has a deficiency. I don't think she's connected with human emotion like that. Anybody, I think, would have an ounce of compassion or empathy in that moment.
I don't think Bob would.
I get what you're saying, Nikki. I get what you're saying about the lack of compassion, because like I said, there were multiple moments in this show where I was like, well, I can't be mad at Maddie here because she's conducting herself as any reporter would. But it's one thing to come in with your notepad and sit in the back and report. It's another to be asking somebody about their deed. Like, you can see Officer Patty. He gonna come through the window later, girl. Relax. Sit down. Kay, were you here for Slappy?
I'm Slappy now. There's a whole relationship. When was you standing on business this whole time? And you pick the day when her parents, the children, her bosses, and you know she had like 8 jobs. So the bosses, the co-workers there, the town the gang members is all there. You wait till everybody is there and say, well, since ain't nobody coming to my comedy shows, let me show y'all what I got working with right now. And Maddie is right now sitting in the audience at a Tyler Perry play, watching him put on a show in front of everybody. She is watching the show, and the only thing going on her mind right now is, wow, he like black girls too. I thought it was just a white woman thing. Like, it's just so he like black women too. I ain't even know. I learned something new coming here. Like,
man, seen a woman before he ever laid his eyes on me. It's just too much to take, too much to bear down here at the funeral. I'm supposed
like he was blind before she came into his life. Like he was just completely blind, and then
it's just too much for me to handle. I thought I was the end all to be all.
You know what? She need to be going after Slappy at this point. Maybe they just need to get together because something is wrong with both of them. Both of them are too late in their assessment of what's going on in life. Y'all just need to go and be together and get out
really gonna hate her.
All right, you guys, we are really, really close. These are the most people, from my understanding, that we have had here in Alive. We are sitting at 89 people.
Wow.
We would absolutely love to get 100 people here in the chat. I'm going to show y'all some love real quick for that. But if you guys could drop down and hit that like button for me and leave a 1 in the chat for us to hopefully get those 100 people in here, that will be absolutely awesome. Thank you guys so much. We will be right back.
Ruling the way that I move, I breathe your air, only can rescue me. This is my prayer. If you are mine, if you are mine, I wouldn't want to go to heaven. Cherish the day, won't go astray.
Oh, that mix get me every time. I need to put that on Apple Music. I can't though. Got no coins to give Sade. I can't do it. That mix gets me every time. Thank you. You guys keep running it up. I will definitely let you guys know if we reach that 100 mark. But awesome. I'm happy for everybody who is here. But yeah, what got me was not only did Slappy know what was going on here, but Slappy pretty much knows everything. Like how does Slappy have all this like knowing everything? Loose lips sink ships, and Lucille's bump and curl is in full effect. Lucille got her cut. that mouse, she got her cut, and she has her beauty shop. Of course, Maddie is going over there just trying to like Maddie, did you do a better job being inconspicuous? Girl, you rubbing your hands all across the counter and touching act normal. But Nick, I want to come to you. How did you feel about Slappy having like very detailed information? Because it wasn't just like, oh, I know this is exactly what happened. Cleo wouldn't have done that. She wouldn't have played that number. You see that lady over there with that new shop? She had it in like I was like, how does he know that much detail? Nikki?
Yeah, I don't think it would be hard because he's one of the people that also plays numbers. I don't think it's hard to know who wins, who loses, who has debts. And especially if she won big and suddenly has a shop, I don't think that's hard information to kind of put 2 and 2 together. And Cleo was the one who didn't like the son doing that stuff. The dad pretty much knew about it. So I think it makes sense that he would know who his son, goes to and who wins. But it just annoys me that up until now, his brain has been shut off. And now all of a sudden, it's turned on and he putting 2 and 2 together. But my thing is, what are you doing about it other than putting a target on your own back? Like, what are you actually doing about all the people that you suspect / know were involved in your wife's death? I don't know, death, because we don't know yet. But I am trying to figure out, should I be mad at Lucille? What exactly does she know? Cleo came to her, said, play this number, get this money, open your shop. And she did all of the above, which is fine. But I guess I'm trying to figure out what exactly she knows and what has been put together. Because if Slappy can put it together, I'm pretty sure that automatically Reggie would know, hey, I gave Cleo this number and this person won the number. How much does this person know? Like, I'm just curious. Did we go to Lucille and say anything? I'm just trying to figure out what Lucille knows, because she did seem a little, when Maddie is in there trying to talk to her, of course, I don't want people to know I, knew about this number, but it just felt like she was kind of hiding a little something, but I couldn't tell. I'm trying to figure out, hopefully we'll get some more with Lucille and her involvement, if it's only the involvement of what we saw when she made the deal with Cleo, or is it something deeper? Because of course, all roads lead back to Reggie. He know about the stuff being rigged and gave Cleo the number, and this is the person that won. And if we're trying to, close ties so stuff doesn't lead back, did we go approach Lucille?
Ashley, were you here for Juanita's bump and curl?
My good sis made a promise. Y'all remember when Cleo went to go see about her and she said, the only price, baby, is your secrecy. She said, for $6,000, I won't say a word. And my good sis is standing on big business. She said, everything the lady told me came to pass. I got my 6 bands. My beauty shop will be open in 2 weeks. Maddie, get out and I'll see you next time. You want some curls? I'll hit you with the curl next time. But again, at this moment, I liked kind of the confrontation and the back and forth with her, because beauty shop lady is like, Maddie, why was you even there at the funeral? You doing a write-up for Miss Cleo? Because we got good sense. And I think Mel Lee said it in the chat, the whole community knows, right? And I think that's the part that Maddie might be missing or just doesn't care about, is that all of the Black folks in Baltimore in this time are connected, and Shell is their unofficial governor, right? And so I'm not going to do anything to get on the wrong side. I'm not going to do anything to bring to this started the whole snitches get stitches thing, right? If I say anything about Shell, he gonna come get my kids. We already know his nature. And it's just so much damage that could be caused if this gets out. I'm just honestly surprised that, would you say Juanita's bump and curl, Lucille's bump and curl? I'm surprised she's still living, because this was Shell's bet. And I'm also surprised Reggie's living, because who else had that number? You know what I mean? I'm surprised Shell hasn't taken action yet. And maybe we'll see that in the next 2 episodes, but good for you, sis. Keep your mouth shut. And again, Slappy's ready to leave this earth. He's ready to go, because at this point, he's on everything.
But I don't want it to be at the hands of Maddie, because it's one thing to speak out of turn here and out of emotion after the funeral, where you're chasing me and you want me to give you this story. You really don't know what the hell you are and who you're dealing with. But of course, I think in the next slide, when we go to the club, either let me in or I'm going to print what Slappy said about you in the paper. Like, girl, stop. Don't insinuate me. I didn't tell you that. Okay?
Are we surprised?
See, of course, Shell ain't messing with her, because y'all seen Power. He probably can use her shop to do money laundering and stuff. Okay, we at this point, she's part of it. Does she look worried to y'all? The only thing she worried is to make sure ain't nobody snitching, because at this point, it's like, if I go down, you going down with me, and she ain't trying to go down. She just came up at this point. So yes, Maddie, how you be around in the Black neighborhoods and you don't know the rules? Okay. And Slappy, you know, and apparently he got a death wish because now you trying to tell her all the stuff that you know. So apparently you trying to go down and take somebody else with you because you knew this ahead. Slappy, you knew the rules. You knew where she worked at. You was in there trying to tell your lame jokes to everybody when you should have been trying to get her out of that situation. And then now you wait and be like, oh, this is all wrong. This is all these people are crooked and shady. They wasn't that crooked when you was in there trying to get a little kiki for your career.
I was just glad to well, we know now that we can cancel out Miss Lucille for being in the bottom of that water. It's not her because baby, Juanita's bump and curl is in business in 2 weeks. Okay, we're gonna be doing what we need to do. We'll still say get on out of here. No, I don't need them problems, white lady. I got my shop. Speaking of not needing them problems, white lady. Will you be subjecting your Jewish employer to the salacious slander? Trying to connect Reggie to Tessie's murder, and I think I might love Mr. Gordon. Mr. Gordon here, and he's a terrible individual. Dora is in Paris, and this is Black Power. Now, Mr. Gordon is a terrible man. We already know what he's about. But just in the way that he was well equipped and ready for Amanda to roll her ass up here. Because she thought it was just, let me just finesse my way into the little black business. You know, let me speak to him, give me a little information, come in here, you know, with my pen and my pen and paper. No, ma'am. I was like, how much because Mr. Gordon knows a lot and he knows a lot of people. The fact that he already knew that Maddie was Jewish, I can't recall what it was, but he said something that references something that was said while Maddie was at work at the Baltimore Star. I was like, Shell got eyes everywhere. Shell got eyes and people everywhere. So you're not just going to come in here. I know what you're connected to. That's not doing anything for me, but I'll entertain you and answer your little questions. But outside of her just speaking to Mr. Gordon and him answering in the only way, like Mr. Gordon, very much so a hood elected politician. He gives that this whole conversation. I was like, you better get it, Wood Harris. I see you, Wood. You better act in that scene, boy. But she's also taking first of all, Reggie, y'all went on Reggie's throat. His voice said he needed some throat lozenges, some cough drops, some tea. Reggie had a black eye for quite some time. Now Reggie got a limp. Reggie.
Can't get right.
And it's just like, you know, hey, I would have thought that an injury like that, maybe you would have had a black eye. Just really trying to connect Reggie and those fish. She is going out of her way to, like, I can get a 2-for-1 special. Not only can I blow the lid off of Cleo's case, but I can free and get Stefan. And like, yeah, she's trying to do a whole lot. And I think she's really out of her range. Ashley.
Again, I echo your sentiment, Tyra. I say you better act Wood, because I said I can't stand you, Shell, in real life, but you checked her. And again, this was everybody getting Maddie together, because he said, Maddie, you know why it's right. You doing all this and you coming to me. She had 4, 5, 6 jobs. Did you go to all of her jobs to check in on her and see what was going on? And Maddie, no, I didn't. And Maddie is so oblivious, right? She just so much so resides in aloofness and in her privilege and in her beauty, I guess, that she don't even realize when she's in danger. I'm like, girl, you think it's cute, you think it's all sweet, but your privilege only extends so far. You can come missing too. Like, I know y'all, they won't touch a white tea woman back then. Baby, in the right place, in the right time, he'll find all of her business and make her life hell. And Maddie, mind your business. Stay out of these people's business. This is not what you want. But as far as his monologue during this season or this moment, this scene, I wish it was true. I wish he was about Black power. I wish it was about Black empowerment and doing for the community. But he is like so many of those drug lords of the time, or anybody, numbers men of the times. It's about you, Shell. It's about your wealth. It's about your prosperity. Anybody else can get it. You're not for the upliftment of the Black communities. Don't do that. But him getting Maddie together, absolutely here for it.
It was. I was here, but I was just here for the dialogue, just like I was with Slap when he was like, "Ain't that right, Myrtle Summers? You ain't give Cleo that job." Nikki.
Yeah. I love this scene. I love this whole scene. Wood Harris is a veteran. just say action and he gonna turn it on. But I feel like I have more hate for Shell than I do for Maddie. Shell does more harm to the Black community than Maddie ever could. You can't tell me that he did not kill Cleo's dad. You can't tell me he ain't killed a ton of Black people in his community. Just turn to Reggie and say, handle it, take out the trash. Shell is not about Black power, Black financial, none of that. It is all just like it was said, he on his politician vibes. But I also will say that I feel like you said, Tyra, I'm so mad I can't remember exactly what he said, but he did say some stuff that alluded to like already kind of knowing about Maddie. And I start thinking like, do Shell got white folk working for him? Like, how far does Shell's reach extend?
Ash, I was gonna save it for the back. Ashley, Nikki K. I really feel like Officer Gordon has a connection to Officer Platt. I feel like Mr. Gordon got a connection to Officer Platt. It would explain why you ain't need all your breaks there, and you've been at this bar a whole lot. You just sitting at the bar. There is a connection, and especially when we get to the part where Maddie outright asks, "Do you work for Platt?" and he hesitated. It's something's off. Something's off. I think it's. Let me find out he been climbing through that window and to gain information.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely giving me what that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon, where we knew one person was a plant and we didn't know somebody else was. I feel like there is somebody else. Like we know he was paying the partner, but I do feel like
The Departed.
Yeah, The Departed. You don't put all your cards out on the table. You don't want everybody to know who your spies are, who is working for you. And I definitely feel like just because Maddie is white people got killed in the 60s. Like we can still touch Maddie and take Maddie up out of here. And I feel like Shell reach might be deeper than we think. Yeah, we know it's deep in the Black community. But I think he got some white folks on the payroll. And I think it would be nothing to take Maddie out. And in this episode and the last episode, Cleo had voiceovers that said something regarding her ambition and following this story, leading to her demise, leading to her death. So Shell ain't nothing to play with, child. Shell ain't nothing to play with.
I was thinking about this scene, not only Officer Platt, but that trash officer who was sitting outside of, Maddie's house. Like
he could be working for Shell.
Yeah, it's a whole connection. Shell paying everybody rent. So you don't really know. Nikki? Not Nikki. Kay?
I take myself off mute. Look, now, Maddie is not, no, Shell is not worse for the Black community than Maddie, okay? Even Nino Brown was giving out turkeys on Thanksgiving.
What the hell?
Okay? Okay.
Maddie ain't did nothing to the Black community but screw Platt at this point. That's all she done.
He gave Cleo a job and when she needed the money. So we ain't gonna say he was all bad 100%. Now I ain't say he was good, but he, there's some people doing some stuff.
I can't ask. Who does somebody find? K throws all rationality out the window.
And let me look now. Okay, y'all remember in Vampire in Brooklyn when Kadeem Hardison, every time we seen him, he was looking worse and worse. This is Reggie at this point. Every episode, he got a new injury. He just keeps going down. We ain't fixed the problem from the first episode. We on episode 5, and he just keep getting more and more injured. It's not looking good for your boy. And I'm a little afraid for him at this point, especially when Maddie is throwing out stuff that Shell, he ain't even know some of that stuff. And he just throwing stuff out. Reggie is not looking good for you. Maddie, you might want to close that window that you keep getting open at this point, because if Shell don't take you out, Reggie probably gonna do that on the low. He might fall on the way back out, but he might do. You a threat to him at this point.
It is. It's a lot happening because baby, when Reggie was like, "Let me get out of here," no, you stay right there. I was like, I want some history on Reggie and Mr. Gordon, just a little piece. I want history on multiple characters in this show because man. But yeah, shout out to old Judith just being a tag along this episode. She made an appearance. She was standing outside the door supporting Maddie. Way to go, Judith. We bye, Judith. Shout out to old Judith, coming in. That's my assistant. Like, I love every moment you try to come in. I work for the box. I'm on stop. Like, no, baby. You are writing you're helping, assisting with the helpline column. Relax.
Not even a real journalist, just out here lying to people.
Nikki, fill in the blank for me, please.
Didn't I already answer a question?
Multiple people have went. Normally it's more people on the panel. Answer the question, ma'am. You left with the dress she was modeling last Thanksgiving, took it right off her back, but finish the sentence.
Of course, you white woman, you look better in it than that black lady did. I sauced it up, but that's what she said. You look better in it.
I was like, you have to add that. You ain't have to add that. That backhanded compliment after you said, so sorry when it's so and she was so a beautiful one. But naturally, so you look better in the dress you bought off of her back. Like, what? Ma'am, we didn't ask you for that information, white tea lady. Get out of here. She made me mad. But this is when old Maddie realizes that she's, per usual, closer to things than she actually is. And we also get another flashback situation. The dress off Cleo's back, taking Maddie's virginity and aborting missions. We don't need a baby right now. Now, with Mr. Durst scrubbing the blood off of what looks to be like a chair situation in his studio. That looks like that chair that was in his studio. I think he probably like, oh, Maddie, you want me I could paint you or something. He tried to do a Jack in Titanic and got my girl slipping. But I feel like he is cleaning up something because she is losing her virginity. That's the only thing I could think that it is right now, because we revert back to the other scene of clearly an aborting situation happening, and we kind of cut away from that. Nikki, what did you think about this? And do you think that the father of Seth could still possibly be Daddy Durst?
First of all, I want to know if Alan got as much smoke for his dad as he do for Maddie. That's what I want to know. Every time he see Maddie, he's seething. I want to know, does he have the same energy for Papa? But also, Lord, Dad Durst is a creep. I'm ready for him to get some type of comeuppance. I don't know. He's probably pretty old by now, but I still need something to happen to him. And I feel really bad for Maddie. I really do. You're a young girl. You're sold a dream by somebody older and manipulative. Every single thing we heard him say to Maddie in all their flashbacks together was him manipulating her. And then also, him talking her into, having the abortion and everything. I feel bad for Maddie. And I think I'm curious if some of this ties into the emotional disconnect with her son. Maybe the fact that she had an abortion, does that affect how she feels about the son? But also, unfortunately, a lot of people take out how they feel about the dad onto the child. So I'm kind of wondering, okay, you aborted this baby, but we don't know how long this affair went on. Is the dad Durst? Is that the dad of Seth? Is that why she has an emotional disconnect with her son? I'm very, very curious for us to get more with the dad and this whole affair. I really can't speak too much on it because I feel like they just keep giving us pieces, not the whole picture. So I don't want to speak too soon. I'm ready for them to just show us a little bit more.
Me too, because you're talking about old dusty, nasty Daddy Durst. I'm still trying to get back to the prom night situation. Isn't Maddie standing in the middle of those woods with blood on her dress? Isn't that a flashback also? Like something occurred. And I wouldn't be surprised if this man has been unalive in that area. And that's why she knew to go on over there and go try to find him.
Wait, you think Maddie killed Daddy Durst?
At this point, I don't put nothing past Maddie. Because we still don't have a full-on explanation as to why she knew, like, I'm going to go look for Tessie. How did you know that? How? We don't know. Ashley?
Yeah, stuff's not adding up. But I remember this scene in the first episode. And again, we didn't know at that time that it was Daddy Dirty Durst that was with her. We assumed it was a young Alan Durst. And I thought the same thing, that this was her losing her virginity, right? And so to think now, okay, so the Daddy Durst is the one who took it. She's there looking forlorn. My question is this aborting missions or is this delivering and giving it away? Somebody in the comments on the recap had said that there's probably a baby lingering around that they gave up for adoption. I'm not sure, but we'll see, of course. But I lean towards it being, like you said, aborting missions there. It's just so disturbing. The whole tryst is disturbing. My question is, it would be, hopefully before the end of the season, we get a flashback of what happened, because clearly Alan found out something. And I'm wondering if he did eventually move out with Maddie, if he did leave the mom for her, did it become public, or did the son just happen to, come in and interrupt a thing with them? As far as the notion of her unaliving him, I wouldn't run it by her. There is something nefarious that we still don't know about Maddie. I felt it since the first episode. She has done something terrible. And I just can't wait till we get the reveal of that. And when she gets in this dress, hopefully you got a slide for that. I see it written on the screen, but I don't want to talk about it right now because I have a whole thing about Maddie and Cleo's dress. But yeah. Oh my God.
Fidgeting like she don't. Kay.
Look, for all we know, Maddie might have been cheating on Daddy Durst and unalive that man so that he wouldn't be found out. I wouldn't put nothing past her. Look, if she did it one time, we don't know if she did this again. We don't know if this is a pattern. We see she hadn't grown since she was that age at this point. And you know what? Because she is this way, I really would like to know how much of her personality has seeped into her son.
Oh, more than we probably would like. I'm hoping that is not a lot, because he already be acting like Milton Jr. Hopefully it's just all Milton. Hopefully it's just all Milton. But yeah, I can't wait to see what happens and unfolds with Daddy Durst. This is definitely not them running off and him actually leaving the family. He wasn't going nowhere with Maddie. He was using Maddie just for what these type of predatory men would use young Maddie for. He wasn't leaving that lady. She thought he was. They never do. They never leave. They never leave. Getting here. Flat, do you work for Mr. Gordon? Maddie's second warning to leave all of this alone. Second, third, fourth, fifth. I'm going to just call it the second, because this is the second major one along with Bob's. One too many coincidences with all roads leading back to me. You know what? I want to be alone. Now, Maddie is getting all the way up into Cleo's dress. I don't know why at that moment. I thought maybe she was just going to take it out and look at it. I didn't. What does it say about her that she just wanted to put it on? Like, be in it. I was like, why? I thought she was going to look at it and lay it on the bed like, oh my God, I had her dress in my closet this whole time. The fact that she put it on in the way that clerk references, like, basically took it all the way, snatched it off her back. Like, it's something. It left a nasty taste in my mouth to see her putting on this dress and not even just wearing it, but fidgeting in it. Like, clearly she wasn't comfortable, but she made it a point to put it on and she never took it back off. I don't know what they trying to say with that, but we also have Plaid, coming through the windows. He ain't gonna never use the door. Plaid ain't gonna never use the door. He's gonna continue to come through this window, and he is pretty much trying to do what he's been trying. Like, stop! You don't have to do all of this. Have your little helpline job. This situation has ramifications for a lot of people in this community that you couldn't possibly fathom. Leave this alone, Maddie. Now, with that being said, do you have connection to Mr. Gordon? I didn't hear a definite no. I didn't hear a definite no. And with all of the people who are on Mr. Gordon's payroll, I wouldn't put it past him. And that would explain why he was all on the radio, all on the record, all down there at the club, constantly at that bar and just in that space. We were in on this together. And then even taking it back to his partner, just to say, like, we all have our own separate secrets. Like, I don't put it past Platt to be in there, taking money or whatever, doing something under the table like everybody else. Now, how far he is connected, that will be interesting to find out. But we leave off with him leaving because he wanted to pretend in this moment that he cared about Maddie beyond just a sexual nature. I don't have time for that. Like, I know what you came here for. Ashley?
When Maddie said, Officer Black, you whiter than the whitest white man. I fell out. I thought that was hilarious. I did. I said, go ahead, Maddie. I'm gonna clap for you one time. Just one single solitary clap. That's all you get. But take off that lady dress. It's weird. It's sick. Maddie's a weirdo. Maddie's probably smelling the smells, thinking she's channeling something, thinking she's being deep. She probably lit up one too while she was in that dress in the floor like a serial unaliver, cutting up all them pictures. Girl, get a grip and get a clue. This is literally the undoing of Maddie. I feel like from this, it's going to be just a complete downward spiral because you're seeing her literally lose it as she's going through this. She's obsessive. She's doing all the things. I too agree that Ferdy, it probably is on a couple people's payrolls. He's ambitious as well. Like we talk about Maddie's ambition. I believe for him to have become the first Black detective in Baltimore, he has a level of ambition as well and has been willing to do things. I know that only his partner was aired out as being dirty. I think he might just walk a little bit more circumspect than he did, but I don't think it's above him, especially with his proclivity to like secrecy and all that. Even when Cleo asked him for help, that's when I saw Platt for who he truly was. You ain't for the people. She asked for your help and you was basically like, well, I could keep you safe for a minute, but that's it. So I knew he wasn't for the people then. But yeah, this is her second warning. And we know in any of these shows or movies, when people get warnings like that, it's not for no reason. Her destruction was imminent.
Child, he definitely ain't for the people. He up in here climbing through Maddie's window. Kay, I'm not gonna play with you in these comments. Somebody he climbing through the window like, bro, man, upstairs, fifth floor. Kay, what did you think about this?
I just kept watching him come through the window. I'm like, your name is not Brumman. Why are you coming in that way? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You know, if you looked in the DSM next to borderline personality disorder, I'm pretty sure Maddie's picture would be there. Because this is a classic personality disorder. She's not unraveling now. She hadn't been wrapped too tight for a long time. She already wasn't wrapped too tight. This is just part of an extension of Maddie, and we're seeing more and more of her as these episodes go along because she's willing to go not low to get to the story she's trying to get, but she's willing to go to hell at this point to prove a point. She is willing to go to hell. We don't know the depths that she will take to try to prove a point, and I don't put nothing past her at all. Like if you're willing to put on a deceased woman's dress, keep the dress on, confront a man because he saw her before he saw you, and you still have the dress on, and then now you want to be alone. After you was trying to holler at him at the woman's funeral whose dress that you have on. Make it make sense, Maddie, because this is all lunacy.
Oh, I love saving Nikki for last because I just feel like she's gonna cape for Maddie. Nikki.
Okay, so this might sound far-fetched, but I got a prediction. Okay. Now, I think it's pretty evident that a reckoning is coming for Maddie. Mm-hmm. And like I speculated earlier, I think Shell has people from, in the white community working for him. I think that Shell has that cop that saw Platt go through her window last episode. We did not get him this episode now. Mm-hmm. I think he's working for Shell. Yeah. And Shell is going to discover the connection between Platt and Maddie. I think Platt does work for Shell, and I think some type of threat is going to come. If you want XYZ, you're going to have to take out Maddie. I think Platt going to be the one that has to kill Maddie. I think he's going to kill Maddie. I definitely think Maddie is going to die because the voiceovers twice have told us how chasing this dream will lead to her death. But it might be far-fetched, but that's what I think. I think Platt gonna be the one to take out Maddie because he's the one that's gonna be able to get close to her to even take her out. So yeah, that might be far-fetched.
First of all, it don't take much to get close to Maddie.
But I will also say when Maddie found out that yellow dress was on Cleo, I thought she was gonna come home, pull the dress out, You know, I would think it's morbid. I would be weirded out. I would throw the dress in the trash. I did not expect Maddie to put the damn dress on. I feel like Maddie was probably touching herself in that dress. Like, Maddie is just so weird. She was doing weird things in that dress. But I also think with the show, I think there's something I may not get at this point, but there's a reason Maddie is in that dress and had the blood on it from the lamb, and then had blood on it yet again the second time she wore the dress. And if I'm not mistaken, the blood looked like it was in the same spot that it was the first time. So I think there is a reason she had to be in that dress before confronting Stefan's mom and getting blood on it yet again.
Yeah. But no, that's not far-fetched. I definitely think because we still don't know, because I zero in on Judith's stank ass, because I don't like Judith.
Leave Judy alone.
Gordon could have, had that man on the payroll say, keep watch on that heifer, keep watch on that whole situation. We don't know. Something's gonna happen. But if there was left up to somebody to get close to Maddie, it would be Officer Black. We shall see. We shall see. Oh man. Just ready to get on, ease on down the road towards this ending. I'll come to Ashley, because you're looking confused. I'm coming to you. Who said that? I will not rot in jail for you. You would have did the same for your son. Who said that?
Oh, that's easy, Ashley.
Is that gotta be Stefan's mama?
I don't know. Let's see.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's definitely Stefan's mother. Definitely Stefan's mother. Ciao. Your son does love talking to me. Maddie's tested and tried to gaslight the wrong one, and Stefan's mother, who clearly is not all there. The dead end sign was ignored. That escalated quickly. Baby, what? What? Child. First of all, I knew something was going to happen. When Maddie is cruising up in that dress, of course, cruising up to this lady's house, there's a very prominent, dead end sign. It just felt like a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, girl, do not answer. Don't go in that house. Don't do it. Of course, we have to persist because we were trying to get a case and do something by any means necessary. If it's not going to be in Cleo, I still have Stefan over here, and I can free him if we can incriminate Reggie. Child, everything was so calm in the beginning, and they were going over, the history, and I'm Polish and Jewish, my mother, and the desserts and whatnot, and the coffee and the teas. It was a good time. Then Maddie gets upset at the fact that the mother is just like, you know what? I don't want to revisit any of that. I told anybody who would listen about Reggie, about, the black man I saw, and about nobody cared. Matter of fact, maybe he just needs to stay in there to keep himself out of trouble. And, this is the points of the show when Maddie gets on my nerves. Like, why do you care? I have a son. Girl, do you? Now you have a son. Now you have a son, Maddie. I have a son about the same age as yours. And if it was me, I would, girl. The mother was not having any of it. Now, what I did like in the scene is I was like, okay, well, hell, what is the mother hiding? What is the mother hiding? Because she's like, you're here on your own, a mission all by yourself. If my son had told you something, if he had gave you some information, you wouldn't be here alone. Like, the house will be under siege or something. I'm like, well, hell, what do you know? And what did you do? Like, I'm confused now. Because beyond that, before, Maddie can get another whimper out of her breath, she decides to try to gaslight the mom into caring. Like, well, if you don't care in that sense, let me appeal to your nature as a mother, because I know you're close to your son. Matter of fact, when he busted out, he came to see, it was, Ike and Tina Turner, come to see me. He came to see me first before he even acknowledged you. Well, boys don't tell their mothers everything. Yeah, I think he loved, I was like, Maddie, no. I swear, I knew it was about to escalate. I said, Maddie, no. no, Maddie, no, please, don't. I thought the lady was going to slap Maddie. I thought the lady was going to maybe kick Maddie out. The fact that she stabbed Maddie and WWE'd her with a chair. What? What the hell? Actually, what happened?
Baby, when she stabbed her with that rusty butter knife, it's all I could do. I clutched my pearls. I gasped. It got me. Oh, did you call me? Did you say Ashley? Oh, okay. I was making sure because I just heard the E part at the end of it. But yeah, when she started with that rusty butter knife, it gave me everything I needed because Maddie, you in danger, girl. How do you not get it? Like you've been in danger multiple times, and this is the one that got you, sis. I mean, this woman then told her life story. She said, listen, I was in Poland. I wanted to get out. I married that American soldier. I ain't love him, but I wanted to get out. You know what I mean? So we already know she's willing to do what she needs to do. We saw her when she snatched him out that tub with them fishes and beat him with that wet towel. We knew what kind of time Cassia was on, his mama, whatever her Kasia, whatever her name is. We knew what type of time she was on. And so Maddie thinking she can come in here and use that same, well, he calls me all the time. He loves me down. He'll tell me that's what sent her. And so here I'm going to posit this theory. Okay. I actually think his mama had something to do with Tessie's disappearance. I don't know if she's a procurer of things for people. I don't know, but she was at Tessie's funeral. She's been in unlikely places that we shouldn't necessarily be seeing her all around town. So I do think that she had something to hide and she knew Maddie was getting close to exposing her. Now, Maddie dragging herself, bleeding out like the Scream movie, that was a lot for me. And I said, well, this is her end. I didn't know how she was going to get out of that, baby. But we go in that kitchen. I said, you a old school war criminal or something to slit your own throat. That is some nasty, diabolical work. She said, I'm not letting you take me out. Listen, war criminal. I don't know what this lady done been through, but it's a lot for her to do that. This gave me everything I needed, y'all. It did. I loved this scene. Again, this was my favorite episode of the season so far, and I cannot wait to see Maddie get out of this. And what her recovery is gonna be like.
Because yelling from the outside of that door, like, what did you expect me to do? You would have done the same thing, for your son, or it's almost a sense of like I'm stabbing you to protect Seth before you get some information. Like, no, it feels like it's self-serving in protecting yourself as well, because it's like if he would have told you anything, told me something like what? What else is there to tell? And the only reason, legit reason, as this loving, caring mother, beating him with that towel aside or whatever she's trying to pretend to be, regardless of the situation, if there was a chance to get your son out, why wouldn't you jump at it? Something going on. Nikki?
Now, why y'all ain't got the same smoke for Stefan mama marrying that man she ain't loved that y'all had for Maddie marrying Milton when she ain't loved him?
Please. She is not in a hostile situation. What hostile situation was Maddie in? Maddie in her privilege, baby. She was all. This lady said she was all out there at concentration camps. She was in the middle of war time. Child, I was trying to get away. That's what I was trying to do. Maddie.
I literally just saw this show before we went live, so I'm gonna retract what I said earlier because I haven't sat with the show yet. I think Maddie was wearing the yellow dress to foreshadow that something was going to go down in this scene and she was going to get blood on her dress. And like Ashley said, when we saw the mom beat the white off her son, we knew she, had a few screws loose. And I definitely think if somebody comes to you and says something was told, if there's nothing to be told, you just going to be like, you're only going to kind of get a reaction if there is actually something that her son could have told Maddie. So it definitely gives the vibe that there is something there that he could have told Maddie. But I also feel like, again, I'm going to side with Maddie. She did the same thing Bob would do. If Bob ain't got a son, he'll make up a son. You going to say and manipulate and do whatever you need to do to get the information.
No, Nikki, I ain't letting you have that. She didn't say... if it was my son, I would be out there scouring these streets. That same shit she tried to, dang it, I cuss. That same stuff she tried to pull with Tessie, it was some allure and some sexual nature to it. What he called, like, I can get any, like, it's that her throwing them feminine wiles, them little chi-chis, and people like, you trying to use
what you got.
You trying to use this is not a situation to use what you got. This is a mom. First of all, she's at the end of the road, baby. Come on in here. I don't have anything to lose. They're already shutting down my business. My son is in jail. We probably pariahs in the community. Come on in here. What else can you take from me? This lady was already at the end of her rope. Maddie went in there looking. There's tissues everywhere. There's, stuff looks astray. She's clearly been in there crying and sobbing and contemplating whatever may have happened and whatever involvement she's has. She tried the wrong person.
Yes, she did. But am I the only person that watches like Law and Order? All cops and reporters do is lie and manipulate. Like Maddie is no different. Stabler will say all kind of ish. He will pretend that he, understand why the pedophile be messing with the kids. They will say anything to get info. Maddie, what she gonna use is, your son called me. It's not. That's what these people do. They manipulate. That Maddie is not the first.
You went sexual with it to appeal.
She gonna go wherever she
like, I'm gonna go see Seth. I'm gonna lick the whole back of his earlobe to get this information, ma'am. No,
and she would. And she would. There is no depths that Maddie will not go to get what she wants. I'm not saying it's right, but we already know this about Maddie. Like Kay said, Maddie will go to hell. Maddie will do anything to get what she wants. And I ain't mad at her. You can't hate the player, hate the game.
You see what happened. You got shanked like we was in prison. You got shanked and hit with the chair and was running like that lady was trying to take you out, ma'am. And if she could stab Maddie that easily, and the way she came at Maddie, she was ready to stab Maddie, clean up, and hide the body.
And I will say, I'll agree with Kay on the white privilege thing. If at this point, now they didn't really question Maddie when she found Tessie. If at this point, she in this house and this lady throat slit, and it ain't no, hey, you found the body, you keep having these connect. Now at this point, if the cops don't look at Maddie's suspect, then I will hop on K train with her getting this white privilege, because this is a little too. This whole scene is too much.
It's too much. Maddie thought she was Clarice going in here all solo dolo. Baby, you ain't got no protection. Who are you? You okay? You thought okay?
First of all, we not gonna compare this heifer to the Elliot Stabler, okay? That's what we not gonna do. Yes, Stabler was willing to go to the ends of the earth to get justice, because he was seeking real justice. Okay, Stabler actually cared about his wife and all his 6 kids. Okay, he actually cared about his family. He cared about the victims in this case. So yes, he was gonna do what he needed to do to seek real justice. That's a real Marine right there. We ain't gonna do Elliot Stabler. This one right here, though. This one is she different. She is using a tactic to show that I know more than you do. I got the one up on your son because you don't know him like I do. I didn't send him on OnlyFans, okay? You don't know what me and him got. He came to see me to get my photos. So he ain't tell you about us and our secret relationship. And she don't know that his mama, this the person that raised him, okay? She said, leave his ass in the jailhouse, all right? I know what he's capable of. You didn't see his naked ass in the bathtub with them fish and a gas mask on. You don't know that he's weird. He is where he needs to be. Why are you trying to get him out? Especially if you say he rolled up on you in your house. Why you want him out? Help me, Maddie, to understand. You're doing way too much here. And also, I am seeing some foreshadowing with a lot of relationships between mothers and sons. If the trigger is going to be pulled on Maddie at the end, it's going to be her own child.
Oh, not Seth. No, baby, no. Not the baby, Kay. Please, Seth, no. Milton, save him. Don't do it.
Milton busy with his 25-year-old.
Oh, but we do have Maddie, slither her way to that phone with all of the trail of blood, but she doesn't give a precise, location of where she is. I think it's safe to say that Maddie's going to survive this moment, even though we left on a cliffhanger and she kind of killed over from the loss of blood. Everybody think Maddie okay? Maddie leaving
that heifer got 9 lives. It's gonna be something we need to. I mean, she's gonna need blunt or like a point blank shot to the dome to take her out. Because this is light work. And then she's gonna get all the sympathy, honey. She'll be limping. She'll be, oh my god, oh, I'm not okay. It rearranged my pancreas. I need you to. Now can I get my byline? That's gonna be. What happened?
Now can I get my byline? Can I get my story in the paper? She came at me. I wasn't prepared. I was in there all alone in the house. And all I said was, I'm trying to free your son. I'm trying to do something positive for the both of you. Reunite a broken family. And she just came at me with a butter knife. I didn't know what to do. I was on the floor.
She need to be arrested because she ain't got no real job. She ain't no real reporter. She ain't no detective. She ain't even a top flight security guard over there at them people's house. She ain't got no warrants. You ain't got no badge. What are you here for, man?
Oh, Tommy, you ain't got no job, man.
Top flight security of the world, Craig. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Maddie's gonna this is a story in itself. Yet another story for Maddie, huh? Now you're involved. Ciao. Leaving off this episode, what do we think is coming up next? Kay, I'm gonna come to you first because I just love Kay this live. Kay, what's happening next?
Baby.
Reggie's gonna have a new injury. Maddie is gonna sling around her white privilege. Okay, she's gonna somehow wiggle out of this, although they need to throw her in the jail for what she's done. She's somehow gonna sling around that white privilege and wiggle her way out of this situation. We need to put some eyes on Seth. Okay, where is he at? What has he been doing all this time? Okay, I need to know the plight of Seth. I need a detail on all of the sons at this rate. I need to see what's going on with them. I need to know what's going on in their minds, because I think it's something to that between old crazy lady and her crazy son, Maddie and her son, and Cleo and her son. It's a lot of foreshadowing and connections going on there. I want to see some of the sons.
Nikki?
My brain can't even think right now because Ashley said rearrange my pancreas. Kay said that little Seth gonna turn into Dexter New Blood and kill his parent. I can't even wrap my head around what both of these people just said. But next episode, at the end of the day, a reckoning is coming for Maddie. She gonna be perfectly fine after this injury. She just got stabbed with a butter knife. She okay. But I do think that at the end, when we get to the season finale, I think Maddie gonna die. I think that's pretty evident. I think a lot of issues gonna hit the fan regarding her son and the dad. I don't think this whole thing with the dad not really being his dad gonna be able to stay secret. We have already seen how Maddie just blurts stuff out to her son. So and I also think that just narratively, the show, I think, has to reveal who the kid's dad really is, because I feel like there's something there with the dad.
Ashley?
I agree. Again, she's going to be on her sympathy tour because she really shouldn't have been there in the first place. So now she's going to have this excuse, right? Well, I had to because XYZ. So I do think she's going to use this as leverage to try to get further, tell her own story. This is newsworthy. She's getting her byline, okay? But with next week's episode being the penultimate episode, right? Because this series or season only has 7 episodes, something super climactic will happen next week, I'm sure. I'm excited to see Seth rage. I like Kay's theory. I'd be here for that. I would be here, at least for a confrontation, even if he's not the one that ultimately unalives her, because I agree with Nikki. Maddie's going to pay for her crimes. I hope next week we find out what that deep, dark secret is. I want that to come out next week.
I'm reading here. Why I need to? You want me to put my Cash App in the chat?
We wanted you to, because
I'm
Rob
gonna wait.
listen to everybody. Yeah.
Oh, Rob,
You about to miss it, Tyra.
It's not entertaining, folks. I am so sorry. Let me put that there. It's Struggle Reviews TV. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let me take this on off. Y'all are hilarious. This was a really, really fun episode. Like, we got 2 episodes left. I cannot see how this is gonna unravel or what's gonna turn like. I can't consciously say, oh, I know how this is going to end. I really don't know. And I love that. I absolutely love that about the show. But you guys, this was episode 5. We have 2 more. Let me show you guys some love for just running it up in the chat and supporting us. We did not get to 100, but we did. We got to 92. I'll take 92. I'll take 92. we appreciate you guys for supporting us in that way and hitting the like button or the cash apps or whatever you guys feel in your hearts to do. Thank you guys so much for that. We will be right back to let you guys know what we have coming up and where you need to come on over to find us. Let me go here.
I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care. I paint the town red. She devil, she bad little, she rebel. Pedal, take a whole lot from the settle. She devil, she bad little, she rebel. Pedal, take a whole lot from the settle. Yeah, said my happiness is all of your misery. I put good all in my kidneys. This small gel don't come with no jealousy. My illness don't come with no remedy. I am so much fun without Hennessy. They just want my love without penalty. Show me your if you simple me. I'm going to glow up one more time. Trust me, I have magical foresight. You gon' see me sleeping in courtside. You gon' see me eating 10 more times. Ugh, you can't take nowhere. Ugh, I look better with no hair. Ugh, ain't no sign I can't smoke hair. Ugh, yeah, give me the chance and I'll go.
Nikki, I am going to come to you first. Let the people know what you have coming up on your channel.
Yes, thank you. I don't always cape for white women, okay? So come on over to the channel because I was just caping for Maddie, okay? But you guys voted for our upcoming content that will be Tuesday. Black horror movies you might have missed recommendations. So that will be Tuesday because we are on an upload schedule. Tuesdays, new content. Thursdays, watch along. And Saturdays are for horror. We do KillerCon on Saturdays where I have a live horror panel, including Miss Tyra and Miss K and a special guest. And we talk all things horror. And then Sunday, I'm going to be back caping for that white woman, Maddie, okay? And all her shenanigans because I'm going to stand up for everybody that's hoeing around and I'm going to stand up for everybody that's doing dirt. I'm here for her, okay? Thank you.
I just can't with her. Ashley, I'm going to come to you next. Are you caping for the white women? Let the crowd know. Go ahead.
No, I collect their tears in a jar. Just kidding. That was a joke. But y'all hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate y'all being here so much. Be on the lookout for my interview with Empire season 1 episode 4 recap. That'll be up tonight, as well as my From season 1 episode 1 recap. And I also did a trailer reaction for How to Die Alone, which, you know, Kelly from Insecure, this is her baby, this is her brainchild, and she is leading it. So be on the lookout for that as well. And don't forget our lives tomorrow night, y'all. We talking Tyler Perry. Tuesdays are for vampires. Y'all know what the deal is. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Most definitely. Getting all off up into Sheila going up that mountain to save her marriage. Don't miss that tomorrow. Don't miss Sheila and Mike and everybody else in their trash, toxic marriages tomorrow. The link and everything is already up. So go on and turn your notifications on for that live. Last but not least, Kay, let the people know what you got coming up, girl.
Y'all already know. I'll be back here Monday. We are definitely going to talk about why did I get married. This deserves a discussion. Tuesdays are for the vamps. Claudia is finally making her appearance. I cannot wait to get into that. She is one of my favorites. I'm going to do a little short throwback to highlight Vampire in Brooklyn. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I want to just throw a little something out there about that one. Bel-Air is starting, so we've got to talk about Bel-Air, of course. And of course, our Saturday horror panels. Y'all need to hit subscribe on everybody's platform. And y'all, I am this close to the 1K. So please hit that subscribe button. If you are in here, you should have already hit that subscribe button by now.
Don't play with her. Don't play with her in that subscribe button. Thank you, Kay. Go support and get Kay to those 1,000 subscribers. But you guys, that is all that we have for tonight. We will be back with more Cleo, more Maddie, more Officer Platt. hopefully less Judith. You know, we gonna come back for the people. We're gonna come back for the people, and we will definitely see you guys next Sunday. Thank you guys so much for being here. Y'all have a good night. Can you hold on, son? Dang. Come on, hey, give me a minute to get off of this thing.